What makes a Galaxy Note a Note? In a world of large-screen competitors, one feature stands alone on Samsung's newest phablet. It's evolved over successive generations, but is it an option worth the heavy price tag? I'm Juan Carlos Bagnell for Pocket Now, and here's our Note 8 S Pen review, brought to you by Dbrand. The claim is a higher order of productivity thanks to a large display and fine-point controls. The immediate visual we all create with a stylus is scribbling in a note app. Now, I'm no artist, but apparently few other tech bloggers traced Garfield cartoons when they were kids. There's quite a bit more going on with this stick, however. Where a Note and a Galaxy S can overlap on custom interfaces like a slide-out edge panel, Samsung creates a completely unique user interface built all around this point. That point, by the way, is ultra-fine, interacting with the screen coating in a way reminiscent of a fine-tip pen. Being a passive stylus without a battery, S Pen still doesn't track angle, but it is pressure-sensitive. We all apparently hate phone screen bezels now, but curved displays introduce concerns. It's difficult writing on a surface warping away from you. So many apps will just build in an artificial border, a digital bezel, if you will. Those apps that will let you draw right up to the edge of the screen, you're more likely to lose some contact with the digitizer, so you're probably not going to want to scribble there anyway. Like the Note 7 before it, this phone and stylus are water resistant, even with the S Pen removed from the silo. Again, bringing a nifty benefit that this is one of the easiest to use when the screen is wet. But cool hardware won't mean much if you don't have good software to back it up. Where last year Samsung streamlined the number of note and sketching apps, we are seeing more features applied to this phone in their place. From your Air Command menu, users can now specify up to 10 shortcuts. This in addition to edge displays and your home screens, so no matter how you hold the phone, you can get to apps that fit for that kind of usage. Samsung Notes is still one of the crown jewel applications showcasing the flexibility of the S Pen, capturing a thought, adding to a list, or doodling in your downtime. It's a well-featured service. Improvements to screen-off capture are certainly appreciated, giving users up to 100 pages of space before you even need to turn your phone on. Unfortunately, Samsung Notes still often feels like it lives on an island. Sharing, for example. You can send a static image, but trying to collaborate means saving an S-Doc, which doesn't seem to play nice with my desktop. Yet again, we have to plug OneNote as a terrific replacement with better sharing options and an interface which makes good use of Samsung's stylus. S Pen becomes something of a catch-all for the Note. Services without a home elsewhere in Samsung's lineup can just be stapled onto this stick. Better screenshot tools? Sure, S Pen. Though it is nice having a streamlined way to draw on a capture before sending it. Better foreign language translation? Of course, S Pen. First-party GIF creation tools? You guessed it, S Pen. These tools aren't necessarily stylus-dependent services. The Galaxy S8 has an option to create GIFs too. But for whatever reason, when on the Note, they get linked to the S Pen. A few options tie in really well though. Folks with accessibility concerns will appreciate quick access to a magnifier that hovers smoothly above your display. Coloring is a nice way to waste a little time. Share art projects on Samsung's Pen On network. And I have to admit that doodling messages is more fun and engaging than I thought it would be, especially for working through pretty much any messaging service you might prefer, though loading each individual graphic can sometimes lag. Outside of the software Samsung delivers for the S Pen though, this implementation points to one important idea. Steve Jobs was not completely correct when he launched the iPhone. There are times where finer point control is simply better than your fat fingertip. Sometimes those situations are frivolous. Sometimes those moments are productive. But the fact remains that only one device properly integrates the experience to deliver such a refined input scheme. All too often, reviewers are tasked with somehow justifying a device or explaining to people how they should spend their money. Big screens are no longer a novelty, so that's not the hook for a Note anymore. There is a flavor of power user, though, who will value the Note's ability to perform in nearly any scenario, one-handed or two-handed, and with the market's best justification for why a user should dedicate both hands to using a phone. All hail the S Pen. And while you're GTD getting to done and running through airports with your $1,000 pocketable supercomputer, shouldn't you also be trying to protect it from scratches while keeping a better grip on it? Dbrand has a collection of skins in different colors and textures to keep your Note 8 looking sharp. Head over to dbrand.com/galaxy or click on the link in the description below to customize yours. We have more ground to cover on this phone, so make sure you're subscribed to this channel for our full Galaxy Note 8 coverage and help us out with a share on your favorite social networks. For Pocket Now, I'm Juan Carlos Bagnell, some gadget guy on Twitter and Instagram, and I will catch you all on the next review.